Unpopular opinion. Credentials matter. In this day and age, everyone talks about how titles and things you bring to the table from your past in terms of a resume or CV have no place in this future workplace, especially in the crypto space. And I'm here to debunk all of that. That is not the case. But let's dive right into it of what I mean by credentials. So first thing right here is professional credentials. Are you a doctor? Are you a lawyer? Are you an engineer? Are you a CEO of some kind, an accountant? Any level of professional designation, do you have that? And why is this important to highlight this or bring this to the table? Why is it important for the crypto space? Look, that a title alone means nothing in of itself. Nothing. But what that title does indicate is that at some point, in order for you to attain that, you had a level of focus, commitment, you followed through on something that was not easy to do and not everyone can do it. And then there's how you act once you have that title, right? Usually there's a regulatory body. There are ways and standards that you have to uphold yourself to. Not everybody does, but that all gets wrapped into that title. And the crypto space, what is lacking a lot of times is a level of professionalism. You show up at certain times that you're supposed to. You can grind it out for the most part, on hours beyond means of most people. Like some of these things that are inherent in becoming or attaining that title are actually very valuable when it comes to the crypto space. So it's not so much that, hey, you are a doctor, the actual doctor title. It's what that encapsulates. What did you have to do to attain it? And those qualities really bring a lot of value to the crypto space, believe it or not. And so if you are, and that doesn't have to be just these professional titles, but things that we did in our old industry or our current day jobs, however you want to put it, transition very nicely and bring a lot of value to the crypto space. And I want to point that out because sometimes we get lost in thinking, well, look, I'm so used to being an expert in my field. I don't want to be that newbie now. I'm not a tech person. I don't understand, the deep layers of the technology. It's okay. Because what you've done for the last 10, 15 plus years really bring a lot of value to the table. Okay. But it's not just professional titles that are part of credentials. And I want to highlight what those are. Okay. And I call them your highlights because that's exactly what they are. And here's the thing. We're so inherently built to downplay our highlights or not speak about them at all because we don't want to seem like we're bragging or tooting our own horn. But you have to. Nobody knows your highlights unless you talk about them. It doesn't mean you shove it down someone's throat and treat them inferior to you because of your highlights. Not at all. But what it does mean is that you have to share it. Or otherwise, nobody knows what your highlights are. Nobody knows your story except you. And if you don't share them, they're not going to see the value that you bring. So, okay, you don't have a title. All right, did you do any volunteer work? There's a lot built into being a volunteer. One is a commitment to do something without being compensated. That's very valuable in the crypto space, especially a startup crypto project. Find that valuable, that you had a certain goal, you cared about something deeply enough that you put your time, your effort, and you didn't get compensated. Okay, so there are things that come with being a volunteer that really bring value to the table. Did you organize events? Were you an event planner? Did you do things like promotional, parties or concerts or whatever it is? There's a structural know-how that comes with doing those events. One is, can you connect with people? Can you get people to organize an event where they're listening? Different people are doing different things, but all under the same umbrella to get this event off. That there's a level of leadership that's involved in that. So it's not just that you organize events, it's everything that comes with it. Did you do admin work? Were you able to sit and focus and do tasks that may seem tedious but are so important to any business? You did that. So you have that level of focus. Maybe you didn't even enjoy it. Well, that brings it that you can do jobs that you don't enjoy but are important. So that's also necessary. Did you travel? You may think, what does that have to do with anything? Your ability to connect with other people. You've been involved in different cultures. You've seen different things that you wouldn't see being stuck in your local region. So communication is big, just being a traveler, also being open-minded and gelling and being cohesive with different types of people. That's a massive skill that you can bring to any crypto project. So all these things, sometimes they seem like they have nothing to do with the crypto space. Oh, it's not tech related. Crypto is all about blockchain and Web3 and very tech heavy, which it can be. But at the end of the day, that tech is run by and surrounded by people. And so all of the skills that we have in our day jobs or our old industries carry over very nicely to these projects and to the space as a whole. But here's a question. Well, what if I don't have any of those? I don't have a professional title. I didn't travel. I didn't volunteer. I didn't do any of those things. What is it that I can bring to the table as a credential? Well, I'm going to cover 3 things that if none of those other ones apply, these very things can actually hold you over, not even just hold you over, will actually be a massive value for any crypto project in this space. Okay? Here's a big one. Communication. You don't need a professional title. Actually, many professionals that I know don't communicate very well. That's just fact. Again, the title itself does not bring good communication. Should be there, but it's not, right? So can you deliver a message? Can you share a message that's shared with you to other people, right? Can you get other people to understand what you're saying, what you want of them? Are you able to lead through some of the communication that you have? All of those things are wrapped up into beautiful traits that are not easy to come by. To me, that's a massive credential. I am a good communicator. If you can say that, that carries more weight than probably anything else that I've shared before this. So I want you to keep that in mind. Here's another one, is mission. Do you have a personal mission? Do you want to save the world from climate change or climate issues? Do you want to feed the hungry? Do you want to provide shelter for the homeless? Do you want to create a better life for humanity as a whole? Is there a specific mission that you have? That is so important for a lot of these crypto projects because they may share a similar mission and they're looking for like-minded people. So even if you don't have any of the skills, just the focus and enthusiasm you have for a particular mission that may be in line with other projects will be a huge boon. One of the biggest problems is alignment. Can these projects get their teams to share that same message and mission that they have? If you already have that and bring that to the table, that is quite a valuable skill or credential to bring to the table. And last one is, well, look, I don't speak very well, or I don't communicate very well. I'm not overly passionate about anything. I don't have a title to my name, and I didn't really volunteer or travel anywhere. Do you have a work ethic? Well, let me tell you, startup life is not easy. It's not easy. Investing is not easy. So let's remove even just startup life. You want to be an investor to some degree in the crypto space. All of these do apply, but if you don't have any of them, just having work ethic to learn this game and to be consistent and to say, I don't care what happens, I don't care how I feel, that's a big one. Many people say, well, this happened to me, so I couldn't accomplish this task. I promised something, I couldn't deliver it because of, I wasn't feeling well, or such and such thing happened to me. You put that aside when you have work ethic and you're like, I do not care. I'm going to accomplish what I said I'm going to do, and I'm going to work at it until I accomplish it. That's a game changer. That is a massive credential. So I wanted everyone to understand that it doesn't have to be a professional title. It doesn't have to be a specific skill set that you bring. A lot of it can also be mindset that you bring to the table. And it's one of those things that you just gotta understand that credentials do matter. And here's why I say it matters. It's a credential when you speak about it. If you never speak about it, one, nobody knows, but two, it's just something in your past that you don't give much value to. To me, a credential is something that you would tell somebody that you bring to the table. So it's not just a title. So I want you guys to remember that credentials matter. And that may be a very unpopular opinion, but it's my truth.